Yeah, y'all see these G breasts gonna be gone in a couple weeks. No harm, no foul. It is what it is. So, yesterday I got the call that we were setting up my port for Friday the 16th. Today is the 14th at 5:45. Well, actually it says 7 a.m. but apparently I have to be there for 5:45 for pre-op and anything else that I have to do to get there early. So right now I'm on my way to the outpatient clinic to get a COVID test done, because apparently I have to have a test done before they can do the surgery or the operation, whatever it is. In my head, I'm thinking that this is something minor, and that's what I'm going to play myself to think that it is, because I don't want to do the research on it and see if it's major or minor. So, and the reason that I am doing that is because 2 months ago, when all this testing started and I started doing research on what my doctor said might be going on and all the stuff that we had to get tested on, I was doing a bunch of research on unnecessary stuff, not even knowing what was going on. The only thing I knew was that I might possibly have had breast cancer on the left side of my breast. I ain't know nothing else. So of course, when you go on Google and start Googling all kind of crap, all kind of stuff, anything for breast cancer, anything about any kind of cancer, the lumps, the humps, the booty and the bumps, you start looking at a crap ton of unnecessary stuff. And that's what I did. That's what I'm guilty of. So, and I started freaking myself out. I started telling my friends what I thought was going on, and they were very receptive to what I was saying. But then at the same time, they are just as emotional as my ass is. So they were not helping calm down the situation. And it's two of you in particular. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Two of y'all that always be crying with me. But, and I gotta stop saying so much. I noticed in my last video, I said a lot. A whole lot. And I never thought I was the type of person, but apparently I am. And I discovered that on the last video that I did. So I'm gonna have to stop using the word But back to what I was saying. On my previous prognosis, or what we were trying to figure out what was going on, and we were waiting on the results and things like that, I was Googling everything. A bunch of unnecessary stuff. I literally thought I was gonna be dying. The good thing that I can say though is that even though I was reading all of that stuff, it didn't make me feel any differently. So it didn't make me feel like I had cancer. It didn't make me feel like I was getting sick. Because you know how people say, like, people are all fine and dandy until the doctor tell them that they're about to die. And then all of a sudden they start dying. I can say that as far as my mentality is concerned, I don't think that I am that type of person. Also, I can almost kind of vouch for that, just because, again, when I was doing all the research, I still felt normal. I almost said again. So I just got off the phone with the lady at the pre-op place, and we were going over all my information, and she was asking me questions about my medical history. And then when we got to the end, she finally asked me, she was like, what made you decide to go get a mammogram done? She's like, I was looking at your age and you're not even close to where you're supposed to be getting a mammogram. And I told her, I was like, I'm gonna just tell you what I've been telling everybody else. I said, and this is what happened. I had been going to the doctor, and I normally go to the doctor routinely, fine with no problems. But lately I've been going to my doctor trying to figure out why is it that I cannot lose weight, and why is it that the weight can't stay off of me. So like I have some of my friends where they're like, oh, well, you try everything under the sun, you don't stick with the things long enough. And I know what I have to do to lose weight. I have done it before. But the problem is, like, when I was working out like 4 times out the week, I literally lost the weight. I was working out 4 times a week. I was eating healthy. I wasn't eating any fast food. It wasn't basically being healthy. But honestly, it was a lot of work. And I know y'all are like, oh my gosh, everything is not supposed to be easy. But when I tell you that was hard to keep up, it was very hard to keep up. I have 3 kids now, and each time I've been able to like bounce back into shape because I was working out and things like that. But also I have noticed now that since I don't work out and I obviously stress, I was eating healthier. Like literally, I've tried everything except for working out. I was doing a lot of walking, but like as far as going to the gym and doing weights and things like I used to do, like I just don't have the time. I don't have the energy. And between running in between my kids and their activities and work, like I'm just being honest, I don't have time to do it. Like I don't have time. There is no way in hell I would be able to maintain everything that I do now and also be able to maintain going to the gym, eating healthy, and things like that. Because usually, like, at least minimal 3 or 4 times out the week, we have to either eat fast food or get something together in the crock pot before I go to work to make sure that we have something to eat when we get home from games and when we get home from practice. So it's so much easier said than done. And again, I know what I have to do to get there, but I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm stressed out all the time. Not just with work. I mean, it's the children, it's the things that I have to do. I don't know how people expect for mothers to be working mothers, having 2 and 3 jobs, taking care of the kids, doing everything for the kids, keeping the house clean. I don't know how y'all expect people to do that. I really don't. Now, maybe if I made enough money to get a maid or a nanny or at least have somebody to help me with my children, that'll be a different story. But I don't. So, no. Go ahead and put your comments below about y'all talking shit about you want the easy way out. I don't care. So I have frayed away from that, from what I was actually talking about, because I tend to rant, especially if I like start getting angry or like get frustrated about certain things. So let me fray back. Let me rewind. So I started going to the doctor, and we discovered that I had a thyroid issue. So, like my really close friends, and 2 of them actually work with me. And like I was telling them about the thyroid issues, and I'm like, oh, I'm hoping that it's not lupus or anything like that, because I know that there's no cure for that. And I know people with lupus and they struggle to live their normal life and things like that. So upon that conversation, we were like, okay, well, we hope it's not lupus, but if it is, our 3 asses are going to be sitting here crying. And we don't even know what it is. That's the kind of real friends you want. You want them to go through what you're going through. So then that way, they will understand better. So I love my friends for that. Take in mind, I do not use that term friend loosely at all. If you're my actual friend, you know you're my friend, and you know why you're my friend. I do have a lot of associates, but I don't feel like me calling someone an associate is an insult. we just aren't to that point where we're friends, and that's fine. You don't have to always have friends. People seem to forget that, and I don't know what the deal is or the infatuation is with having friends. I can literally count on 2 hands how many real friends I have. The rest are associates. I have a lot of Facebook friends too. So don't get offended if you're not a friend of Vera Zonda. Being an associate, fine. Let me backtrack again because I done got off topic again. So, long story short, after I got the results and found out that I had a thyroid issue, I went to my doctor and we were casually talking about cancer and how it runs in my family. After we found out the thyroid issue, we were literally, like, I kid you not, just talking about how my grandmother had breast cancer and she died of bladder cancer, and how her mother died of cancer. And this was just a general topic conversation. And my doctor was like, well, I don't think that has anything to do with what's going on. We definitely think that the thyroid issue is why you're having trouble with weight and a couple other things. So we were going to accept that. But when I mentioned that my grandmother died of bladder cancer, and of course her mother had cancer, my doctor was like, okay, well, even though you're not 40, it's not time for you to get a mammogram yet because it runs in your family. We're going to go ahead and get this done early. And I don't expect to find anything, but we're going to get it done just because it runs in your family. And sure enough, it goes from let's get you tested, let's get you to do a mammogram, to let's do the ultrasounds, then let's do this, let's do that. All this stuff went on for about a good month. I ended up having to go get a mammogram done. I think it was a digital mammogram. Don't quote me on that because I've had so many different terms thrown at me. I might be giving y'all the wrong terminology. But I've had to have 2 mammograms done. I've had to have 2 different kind of ultrasounds done. I have had 3 biopsies done. 1 biopsy on the right breast, 2 biopsies on the left breast. On the right breast, it came back that it is precancerous, and that really we could probably get rid of whatever we need with the chemo, but to ensure that it doesn't become cancerous, we will have to remove and do either a lumpectomy or a mastectomy on the right breast. The left breast is where the issues come in at, and it is definitely stage 2 breast cancer. And I also have it to where the cancer has already spread to my lymph nodes, so the cancer is in my lymphatic system. So I do have to be scheduled a PET scan next week to see how far the cancer has spread it. Me, I'm positive about it all. The doctors I have been working with have been great. They've been getting things done in a very speedy process. They've been working very quickly, and then they're very concerned. And I always go back to, like, with the new doctor that I have, the very first time that I went into her office, she's like, oh, the girl that done threw all the red lights in her first mammogram. And we were literally thinking that it was just going to be a little lump that we would be able to take care of, maybe do a lumpectomy. And when I had to go back to her after I was diagnosed with the breast cancer, I was like, see, I said, you was up in there saying, like, I threw all these red lights and we were going to be okay, but look at what's going on. And she's very easygoing. I love my doctor. She's very real with me. Actually, everyone that I have been talking to since this process has started has been like an eye-opener, and shows me that there are real people out there that actually care. And I don't know if they care because it's their job or if they're pretending. But I don't care. They're making me feel better about the situation. Every now and then I will have like a little moment where I would start crying. But then I think about everything and be like, there is no way that God is finished with me yet. Yeah, I might have to get both of my breasts cut off. I have to get a double mastectomy. But I can get some more boobs. At this point, I am concerned about how long it's taken for them to do the PET scan, or at least get the PET scan scheduled. My first time seeing the oncologist is going to be on Monday. So I don't know if that's what the normal protocol is. I know we were trying to get me in to see the oncologist this week. And I was originally supposed to have the port put in on this past Monday. But of course, we pushed it back to Friday because I can't see the oncologist until Monday. So, as I find out the details about all of that, I will keep you guys updated. Again, I am trying to figure out what I do and do not need to tell you guys, just because, again, I don't want to bombard you guys with what's going on. I just want to make sure that I am being informative, especially if there is another lady out there that can benefit from what I'm going through. I want everyone to know that it is a very scary situation, but when it all boils down to it, God has the last word, and that's going to determine what's going to happen. I can't tell you what's going to happen. The doctors can't tell me what's going to happen. My mom can't tell me what's going to happen. Nobody can tell me what's going to happen. All we can do is just roll through the processes and do what the doctors tell me to do. Personally, I don't like going to hospitals. I hate going to hospitals. I have hated going to hospitals ever since my dad died. And the unfortunate thing is that lately I have been having to go to the hospitals and to the doctors and different kind of doctors and different kind of outpatient facilities constantly for the past couple of weeks. So I have no other choice but to get over whatever fears that I have about going to the hospital and the doctor. Definitely remember when my grandmother was sick a couple times. She's been sick. She was sick a couple times before she passed. And it was just a lot for me to take in when I had to go to the hospitals to visit her, to sit with her. Because for years, even when my sister went into labor, even when I went into labor, when I went to the hospital, I would literally be sitting in my car crying because I didn't want to go in the hospital. My mama used to be mad at me at first until she realized what I was really going through. Because my dad was in the hospital for a month before he died. And that was not a pleasant experience at all. I was pregnant with my daughter and being stressed out. My dad's in the hospital, not alert, very stressful. And then to think that, oh, he was going to wake up, and he didn't. He never did. So, I have actually made it to my destination. So I'm going to end my story time at that right now. And then I will keep you guys updated. I might shoot a video the rest of the day, but I don't know. And again, I'm just posting these videos. I don't think I'm going to do any edits because I want it to be as real as possible for you guys. So if it comes off that I'm rambling sometimes or that I sound stupid as hell, deal with it. I don't care. But I am about to go ahead and go in and go take this COVID test. See how quick I made it here? And I was able to stay focused and drive with no problem. But I'm about to go take this test, and I will touch base with you guys later. Also, real quick, if you do end up having to go and take chemo, make sure you get you some masks, because now that I know I have cancer, then I have actually been keeping these on me. I got a couple boxes at home too, but now I make sure I don't leave anywhere without one. So I think that's a good piece of advice. Ordered these off of Sam's website for like $6. So just, let me see, can you see it? Yeah. So get y'all some of these. Peace out.